Guys, what is going on? It's here. It's the end of the week. It's been a long week. A lot of late nights. We have really been getting it since the start of the new year. January was an outstanding year. It was almost as good as last January. But last year and this January consecutively have been the two best Januaries I've had. So I'm excited about that because Januaries used to be pretty rough. But today I was gifted with a gift. Apparently, there is a guy that goes by the name of Property Preservation Solutions on YouTube. If you notice, he titles his videos a lot like mine. He starts them out with property preservation, puts a dash. But been talking a lot of trash. Been taking a lot of my videos and poaching them and editing them and changing them around and using them in his videos. Which ordinarily wouldn't be that big of a deal. If you put stuff on, the internet, you kind of have to expect criticism. It's, it goes right along with it. So, but I was intrigued, at least enough to where I thought I would watch a few of his videos and see if there was something that I could learn. And I was not impressed, to say the least. So then what I did is I started making some phone calls and kind of shopping around. And I got some of photos, some of his invoices, a bid, and I started going through it. Just I kind of wanted to see where this guy's, skill level was, this, that, and the other. And it did not take me long to realize that he is a complete fraud. The work he does is absolutely pathetic. And he is everything that I do not like about this industry. And if you forget about all the crap that, is going on the whole YouTube thing, he is the reason that the prices are the way they are that he is complaining about. And you can see this handrail right here. Now, this is a handrail that he billed $1,875 for it. And the interesting thing is one, it's more like a safety rail, less like a handrail. But regardless, it still has codes that it has to go by, which it does not meet. It doesn't even meet the minimum, which is a leaning weight of 275 pounds. But it's made completely out of 2x4s. It's a complete hack job. Now, if any decent contractor would have come in here and bid that, first of all, they would have bid to remove all of the deck boards because they're rotten and they're no good. We would have ran a new rim around the outside of the deck, cut this excess off, made the deck a rectangle as it should be, and put a proper handrail with a proper amount of balusters that met the code. That's what any decent contractor would have done. And that $1,875 that he stole from this client for giving them that product would have been much higher. The reason that he did not do that is because he simply doesn't have the knowledge or the skill to do it. And the thing is if you go on YouTube and you look up any of your favorite people, like for me it's fishing, and you go look at all the great fishermen, they have a person that follows them around and records them and goes home and edits and does all the videos and that type of stuff for them. And the reason that they do it that way is because in order for you to be good or great at anything, you have to devote yourself to that. So if you want to know how to build handrails, you have to get out and learn how to build handrails. If you're inside on YouTube learning how to edit videos and doing all this other stuff and getting you a nice little backdrop where it looks like you have some successful podcast so that you can aspire to get the 30,000 subscribers that you may or may not end up getting with the $18,000 a year revenue that YouTube's going to pay you, then you're never going to know how to do this. And so I did not have to scour too very far to realize that this guy is a total fraud. Now, he doesn't have but a few hundred subscribers, which is a slight relief. But there are several people out there, obviously, who has fallen for his hot garbage. Now, this is one of his bids, and this is a bid that he put on, his video. I literally just copied this from his own page. Now, and the guy bashes repair base, but here's the thing. Have a little humility, people, okay? We are in an industry that requires you to bid a lot of stuff. Nobody knows how to bid all of the different things that you can't just off the top of your head come up with a price. Accept the fact that you may not know everything about everything and use RepairBase. It's not a fraud. It's not a scam system. RepairBase is a tool put in place to make our lives easier, which it does. And it also puts more money in your pocket 80% of the time. So this is his bid. Frame, trim, repair, replace. This is the door. So if you go through the pictures, there's two doors. There's one where the door was kicked that needs the casing. It needs a casing. The door's probably salvageable, but you know, a door and a casing's $285. So I would bid to remove and replace the door along with the casing. That's how I would do it. The other one is just the jamb. So he's got on here $485. I'm not entirely sure, based off of what he said on his video, that he has any idea how to fix it. Because it looked to me specifically on the front door that maybe the king stud was kind of pushed out as well. So that's just for me and the little pictures that he was showing. It kind of looked that way. But he's got $485. Well, if you plug those two things in repair, well, you could. Those two things are actually three things, and that's only those two line items. I didn't even put the screen door on there. It's $2,200, which is what 90-something% of what his total price is, and we haven't even included the cubic yard amount. So I guess I got on here to make this. Normally, I would not care, but this guy is so stupid. And the thing is, the worst people in the world are dumb people who don't know they're dumb. This guy is incredibly dumb and has no idea how dumb he is, which makes him extra dumb. Like, this isn't rocket science, people. There are tools out here that make our lives easier. Use them. He said that I get on here bragging about, you know, the amount of money that I do in sales with some clients, and I've never done that. He twisted that video around to where it kind of looked like I did, but I've never done that. I mean, anybody who knows me personally knows I don't ever talk about money, and I don't care anything about money. But the reason that I started showing some of that is so that you guys could see the success that I'm having, that I've had, and understand that what I'm trying to show you isn't just all smoke. This is the actual way that I do it. And it's worked well for me. If you don't want to do it that way, by all means, there's a million other ways you could do it. You could probably even do it better than me. But this is just the way that I do it. But I want to get back to this handrail because this right here really bothers me. This is what he billed for this stuff. And so the reason that he got paid this, first of all, is because he lives in Podunkville. And there is literally nobody that does this. He had to drive along. He's the only person that would do this. So don't let him sell you on all of this stuff like this is the pricing he gets. Okay? In a competitive market, he would not get this pricing. In a competitive market, I would have gotten this job. He wouldn't even have a job. I would have put him out of business a long time ago, and I would have done this. And when I done it, I would have put a proper handrail. I mean, this is just a quick handrail job and what it should look like. Balusters, because there's codes. We didn't finish the actual handrails, but the guardrails are all done. There is a code that is put in place that when you build a handrail or a guardrail, there cannot be any bigger than a 4-inch gap anywhere. So from your step tread to your bottom rail to your step tread, can't be more than 4 inches, can't be more than 4 inches between your balusters. And from your deck boards to your bottom rail, can't be more than 4 inches. What he did over here, I mean, I don't even know, let me see if I can't find it here. But what he did is, it doesn't meet any kind of code. It's the furthest thing from good work. I would put this in there with like that fence. Like I could literally lean on this and push it right over. And the fact that he charged $1,875 for this, is an absolute scam. I mean, it's an absolute scam. And I didn't have to go any further than this right here, but I mean, I'll just, for entertainment's sake, he put a piece of siding on the front of the house. I don't think he had anything but a chainsaw to cut it because this angle right there, like, how hard is that to get right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very, very easy cut to make. How do you screw that up? He has approximately on all of his measurements. And then his mold remediation job he did here. This is just absolutely stellar. Absolutely lights out. Hopefully these are his bids. Hopefully he fixed the leak on the roof. I don't think he did, or he probably would have done it here. So I'm sure he's going to have to do that all over again. But for someone who gets on there and gloats about how great he is and how bad everybody is and how bad the industry is and how nationals are ripping everybody off and all of this, that, and the other, I'm not very impressed, okay? The guy, yeah, I mean, I'm just not impressed. But then, if you've made it this far and you care to know, he's been fired by a couple of nationals, like big players, and people who are desperate for contractors. Both of these people are desperate for contractors. I have pushed some of these people so far, negotiating with them, some of these companies. We've had some very hostile conversations over the years, and I've never been threatened or fired. Never. I didn't actually think it was possible, and he's actually the first person that I've ever heard of being fired, which is quite an accomplishment to be fired by these companies who are so desperate for contractors. Now, you think about this. You're the only person in Oklahoma doing this stuff, and they'd rather pay people from Arkansas and Texas to come do work in your area than they had send you out there to do it. But then you leave there, you go home to your garage, you put on a turban and your sunglasses with your pale white face that never sees no sun, and then you get on and you make YouTube videos berating other people on the process that they have, trying to tell people a process that you have that is complete shit. So for anybody who watches his videos, please reconsider. And oh, by the way, this property right here, had I put these bids in, probably could have been 15, 20K. I mean, these are the kind of houses that I absolutely, love. His bids are short and not very productive. And they also don't cover all of the issues with the house. I mean, that is the biggest thing. This is in no way, okay, in a competitive market, all right? Now, if you're in Alaska or Oklahoma, where there's only 18 people and no people who do this, you can get away with this kind of shabby stuff. But if you live somewhere where there's other people who do this, I suggest you use a repair base. Go with their pricing unless you disagree with it, okay? And submit these bids in such a way that reflects professionalism on your company. All right, because getting on here and throwing things out windows and doing some of the work that this guy's doing, I mean, if I put handrails together and when I got done, they look like those handrails right there, I would just quit. I would quit. There's no way that I would have submitted this right here and asked to be paid for it. And I'm sure he'll be paid for it because they do the right thing. But for anybody who questions why they don't pay people, could you imagine paying somebody on your house $1,875 to build you that? He didn't even use treated lumber. He did nothing right. Absolute hack job. So, and look, he took a part of my videos where I was talking about my profit percentages going, where they went down. A part of business growth is you have to spend money, okay? You have taxes to pay, lots of stuff that you have to pay in order to grow a business. But my business has grown every single year. My profit percent, it may have come down a little, but I have bought a lot of stuff as a part of growing, okay? So to grow a business, you have to spend money. When you spend money, it comes out of your profit. That is the way companies work. That's the way growing a business works. I'm not losing sleep over it Because had I not bought a few things or remodeled my house for that, it probably would have been a lot different. But the fool gets on here and he says that if you go by what I'm saying, that you're going to have to spend every dime you make trying to make money, okay? If anybody out here thinks I would spend $1 million of my own money to make $1 million back, surely nobody has listened to anything that I've said, okay? There is money to be made in this industry if you are not a complete moron like this guy, okay? I'm not saying do exactly what I say, but you can use what I get on here and talk about as a good benchmark, and you can go a long ways. This guy right here is being fired. He's actually being investigated for stealing some stuff. So the guy is not a good guy. So please don't get on there and listen to him. I know it's entertaining because he knows how to edit videos and stuff. But look, people in the construction world aren't really the best video editors. If you have time to sit around and edit videos, you're not out here making money. So anyways, I responded to that. And here's the other thing. If this guy right here really thinks he knows his stuff, this is the proposal I give him. I will print my taxes off. They're about to be done. I will fly out to BFE, Oklahoma. He can meet me wherever he wants to meet me. We can go live and we can have this discussion for everybody in this industry to see. But he will not do that because I know just as well as he knows that if I was sitting across from him, he wouldn't call me dumb. And he certainly wouldn't talk to me the way that he suggests he would in a lot of his videos. Not only that, but his general lack of knowledge would only take me probably 35 seconds to completely humiliate him. So if you are watching his videos or you think that anything that he is doing is right, I hate to get on here and do this petty stuff, but the guy is a complete hack and he is a complete fraud. So please don't take anything he says seriously. If you have any questions and you are interested in growing your business rather than sinking your business like Property Preservation Solutions would like you to do, you can join my Discord. You can ask me questions. I'm always there and I'm always willing to answer. I'm always willing to help. I hope you guys, like I said, had a great year or a great start to your year, and I hope you have a good weekend. See ya.